Kyle Shanahan's clearly a huge fan of the show. In fact, I'm guessing he's watching right now. So I think we should give him some advice in the spirit of the fact that we like Kyle Shanahan, we want him to do a good job, and we want to help. So if Kyle's watching right now, we think he probably is, what would you say directly to him? What one piece of advice would you give him?
Okay, I'll start. I'm going to say, don't let your ego ruin your career. It's okay to admit when you're wrong, and you need to admit when you're wrong in order to grow, in order to make things right. And maybe that's something that you can learn from Jed.
That was a good answer. Learn from Jed. I wasn't expecting that. Nice. Who's next?
Very, very nice. I would like to say you have an offensive coordinator. Utilize your offensive coordinator. You are the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. You do not just coach the offense. You have an offensive coordinator to do that. So try to spend more time being a head coach of the whole entire football team, and let your coordinators on offense do their job along with their coaches and everything else.
Delegate. I totally agree. Trust him. You hired him. You know him. Trust him. Delegate. Good call. Yeah. All right, Sybilla, what do you say?
So a couple of things, and I think Kyle Shanahan can learn from another Bay Area legend, and that's Barry Bonds. Going back to baseball, he was a really quiet guy who never engaged with the media.
True.
So when he finally needed to, they eviscerated him. They destroyed him. And Kyle Shanahan is not really good at connecting with media. And so here's the thing. If you don't tell people what to say, they will say whatever they want.
True.
And I think if he gave you a little bit more, Hugh Grant, other writers, and he just enjoyed it, was a little bit more, had less of an edge with his delivery, I think that it would be a give and take type of thing. His comments, I'm going to let you write whatever you want. That's not helpful.
Right.
So you know what I'm talking about. So that's the first thing. The media is his biggest ally. You guys are not there to, us fans, we're not there to roast him. We're there to ask. And if he gives us information and we see that there's progress, that there's a plan, that's fine.
Yep.
The second thing is not really so much in the football side of things, but just the leadership side of things. One of the things I don't particularly like in his style, I know he's a very strong-minded individual. With all of the injuries happening lately, his kind of public indifference that he shows sometimes is not a strength. That's a definite weakness, because his guys, we know Jimmy Ward watches the show. We know George Kittle watches the show. I'm sure, what else do the injured guys have to do right now? Watch tape, recover, watch the show. And so it's kind of his, and there are things they're listening, and anytime the head man talks, they're going to know what got said. And I just feel like he really needs to acknowledge mistakes, lay out a public plan, because he's not just talking to us, he's talking to his players. He's setting an example to his players, and I think they deserve a little bit more paternity from him. And that's kind of what I would like to see. The greatest leaders will acknowledge they have mistakes, and as followers love to see that. Not because they want to ridicule them, but because they want to know, hey, it happened. I know they're committed to change. And right now, if I was an athlete on that team, like Nick Bosa, I'd be in Florida.
Oof, that was a great answer. I totally agree. I mean, he's what I was going to say is, don't be so defensive for the same reasons you laid out. And what you said is the media isn't, it's a bad look for the media. It's a bad look for your own players. I would take it a step further. I mean, it alienates your own fans. Niner fans want to like Kyle. Niner fans do like Kyle. And when you shut down with the media, you're shutting down with the fans. And he's also taking it a step further and be like, talk directly to fans. Like, please leave me alone at Safeway. Please leave me alone at soccer games. It's like, no. What you should be saying, Kyle, is, come on, let's talk. I value your input. I appreciate your passion. I'm listening. I hear your concern, right? Why would you want to alienate the fans? They're coming up to you at Safeway because they like you, Kyle. If they didn't like you, they just take a picture, post it on Twitter with some snarky caption like, look at him, man. He got the cheap bologna or something. You know what I mean? Like, I think you should be touched that fans want to help and that media want to help. And just don't be so defensive. I think that's pretty much what you guys said.
If I may add to that as well, as a model, I go through classes where they teach us about being a point of contact representing the networks and the franchises that we model. Kyle Shanahan is way above what I'm doing. And he's kind of the face of the franchise. And it comes with the territory. If you don't want to be a leader, if you don't want to be a head coach, that means that you don't want to talk to your fans. I get that. But if you're going to be, guess what? You're a public figure. And if I dare say, you don't belong to yourself anymore. You belong to the city. You belong to the Bay. And, you know, we do like you, Kyle. I really do believe in this guy. There are flaws he has, but I would be devastated thinking who we would try to replace him with.
True. And, you know, you said, like, who's good at these things that you're describing? Robert Saleh, Sean McVay. How about Sean McVay? Like, Kyle's probably smarter than Sean McVay. Sean great at all this stuff.
Yeah.
When he lost the Super Bowl, all he said afterward was, it was my fault here. I messed up here. Don't blame Jared. It was all on me. When Kyle lost the Super Bowl, he couldn't do it. You know, he was just like, the throws were there. The plays were up. You know, it's like, well, that's not really helpful, right? I mean, I know you're right, but that's not leadership, to Sybilla's point.
Yeah, leadership, it's always your fault.
Always, even if it's not.
You're protecting your guys. You're taking the blows. That's the beauty of being a leader is that you want to say, hey, I'm going to go up there. Like when I was in the Navy, I'm going to go into the commanding officer's office. You screwed up, but I'm not going to give him your name, and I'm going to say it's on me, and I'm going to take the hit. And Kyle Shanahan, I feel he will grow, but that's the number one thing I want to see change.
I agree. Mic drop. Kyle, that was a really good suggestion. I hope you're listening. That was a really good, generous suggestion from people that are on your side. And that was a hell of a round table. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Grant, for having us. I really appreciate everything you're doing. That was a lot of fun. We got to do this again.
Grant, it was nice to meet you, and thank you so much. And for the fans that were in the chat, you guys were awesome too.
This was great. I hope we can do this again sometime. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you.